path that one should be looking at and mapping out their own processes to kind of where they are and where they probably need to get to and what they need to do. Now, if you look at the hiring manager perspective, which is kind of like saying, look, if you slice open a product manager from a role perspective, anybody who's playing the role of a product manager, what would you find, right? If you dissect one of those guys, what do you find? There are three things that you find. And this is a perspective for every hiring manager who's looking at hiring product managers across the world. I mean, this is the same for India, this is the same for US, this is the same for just about anywhere else. The three parts are first, soft skills, very important, right? So when I say soft skills, I'm talking about stakeholder management. How do you convince a cross-functional team on your idea, on your requirements, on your vision, especially when they do not report to you? Now that's harder to actually make it happen than it sounds on surface. I mean, you're like the CEO of the company and yet nobody reports into you. That's kind of funny, isn't it? And so you have to be able to develop what we call the influence. In fact, one of the things that we've kind of championed is this concept of influentiality index, which is a scientific way of saying what is your score at any point in time, which we call II, influentiality index, that dictates whether you will be able to successfully sell your idea or not. It doesn't matter how good or bad the idea is. If you do not have the influence around your stakeholders, around your cross-functional teams, around your peers, you're not going to get ahead. You're not going to get them convinced. You're not going to make any progress. Very important skill, right? Passion. This is something that, in my personal opinion, as a hiring manager, this is the first thing I look for. A product manager needs to be absolutely passionate about solving that problem, about doing something in that space, right? Otherwise, you'll not be very effective. So communication skills, presentation skills, and by presentation I mean not just writing great PowerPoints, but also the whole storytelling side of it. How do you pitch? How do you present? Very important. The second part is what we kind of looked at that diagram, if you remember a few minutes ago, which is the functional skills, right? Do you know how to do market research? There are 14 different methodologies and formal ways of doing market research. Some are discovery related, some are validation related. How do you do that? What are the different techniques? What are the best practices? How do you build product strategy? How do you build a business plan? What are different aspects of doing usability design? Right. So all of these are functional skills that you just need to equip yourself with, and it's actually not that hard to acquire, as we've seen now in the last year and a half, that a lot of engineering folks, a lot of technology background guys, a lot of people who are just strongly aspiring to become a product manager can actually pick this skill up through MBAs, through workshops, through reading books, through just plain old surfing Google. I mean, sometimes Google is the best teacher. There's everything that you ever need is already out there. So this is highly doable. And the last part is the domain expertise, which is, do you understand the market problems of the customers in that domain? Do you come from a online? Do you come from a consumer background? Do you come from a telco background? And so on and so forth. So when you're looking for a PM, there are three things that everybody is looking for. Now, depending on the manager, depending on the company, there'll be different weights and proportions of what is expected. So that might